What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the HTM Buddy Build of the USS Reliant. I am Jordan with Line in the Stars.
And I am Ken with Ken's Hobby Bench.
And it is week number 20 of this build. Well, 21, 22, somewhere in that neighborhood. I think it's week 21. We had a week off, and I'm so far behind, I don't even know where we're at. But it's week 20, man. Like we're there.
Yes, time is flying.
It is. So I guess we could start with a couple of quick little updates. You want to see some parts that Donnie printed for us?
I sure would.
Oh yeah. All right. So Donnie Doherty, well, Don's model desk. He has gone through and done a bunch of printing for us, as my 3D printer has officially shat the bed. That one's kind of hard to get out, so we're not getting that one out. And that one, okay. All this is really hard to get out of here. All right, so we'll look at this part right here because this one's out. But here are some of the what is it called? The
light boxes.
The light boxes, exactly. So that one specifically was the light box for the side windows right over here.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get one of these out. Donnie always does an amazing job of packaging everything. Everything is nicely wrapped, much more patience than I probably would have done. But there we go. I'm gonna have to rewrap this too, which sucks to send them off. But here are a bunch of the light boxes, and
wow.
So these ones actually, I have to say, they turned out a lot nicer than the ones that I had printed and given you. So you're going to want to use these ones.
Okay.
Donnie does an amazing job with his supports. He pays for the pro subscription for Lychee, I believe. And so his supports are really, really nice. He does a really fantastic job. And these specific light boxes are the ones that fit in right here along the side. As you can see, they will kind of fit in right there. And these ones, I don't know. These look like, wow, I'm not quite sure what these ones are. How interesting. So I need to go take a look at the STL files, and I'll make sure to label each one of the packages for you so you know when I get these shipped off for you. But one of the things that Will did when he designed this is built in little ports for the 3mm LEDs in each one of those light boxes. And if you look in here, right where those supports kind of go in, you can see a little slot. And let me go ahead and use the Sonic Saber. Let's go ahead and clean up a couple pieces here real fast. And that's the beauty of the Sonic Saber, because this is actually what it's for. I really love using it for that, because that was just stupid easy.
Super quick.
I didn't scratch it, but thankfully it's just an internal piece, so it's no big deal. But that little slot right there, you're gonna want to put a like a thin piece of, I think he used white. Was it that he used? It was like white, really thin white
sheet styrene.
Sheet styrene, I think, yeah. And so you just use that to kind of diffuse some of the light. If you want to use that, I think I'm going to wind up doing that. But yeah, so each one of those are kind of built in. There's a couple of these that we've already used that we likely won't need, but you never know, we could use them again in the future.
Yes.
But so these light boxes right here, that's what these are. So these are the really thin ones that sit right up in this area, I believe.
Okay, yes, because they're not curved or anything.
Yeah, and they're like a really small piece, I believe, that has to kind of sit in a very fine space. And so Donnie went ahead and got all of these printed up. I'm going to be getting all these sorted out for Ken and shipped off. And then I also got shipping tracking from Will. Will got all of our parts. Well, most of the parts. Got most of the parts printed off because I failed to ask for everything because, genius with a capital J, they say. But so we got most of everything coming. I think we're basically at the point now where we can kind of like pretty much will resume the build in earnest. We're only waiting for a couple of small pieces left after we get all of our stuff. So it's pretty exciting. It's
Oh, it is.
just being able to kind of like get like it's honestly for me it's been really hard to like just do kind of small swaths of this model. Like this model has been really easy to do when you're kind of doing a big project, and so to get all these parts for me is going to be really good. Like get the nacelles complete and then done, get them all wired up so we can just run the wiring, and then get the roll bars done, and then assembly, right? And so that's kind of what my thought is, and it's exciting to actually be here and have the parts. And so yeah, that's kind of a cool little segue into so what you doing this weekend?
And you know what? It's going to be an awesome, like big box of parts when a person orders this from Lake Monster, and just if they order everything, just get all these parts all at once, and just be able to dig right in and go.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's amazing too, is like the sheer amount of plastic that we're taking off of the kit and replacing it with resin is, I mean, we're talking percentages, like a large percentage of this kit is being replaced. And it just, once again, testament to the work that both Will and Cass have done to get all this stuff. And then with the help, of course, of Donnie and, access to files and all that, like this has been a big collaboration effort on everybody's part. And so I agree when when people be able to buy this as an entire kit, they're going to be pretty amazed at just the amount of work and detail they're going to be able to go into. Like, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool to have access to this very early. So,
It is.
yeah.
Uh,
So, what you getting done this week?
well, this week I'm going to be getting everything set up for 5 volts in lighting. So I'm going to make sure I have all the lights I need in my nacelles. I have gone ahead and recorded a little bit of that already. I'm going to get a yellow lights in each one yet, and have them ready to go for the fins here for the RCS thrusters in there.
Mhm.
Um, I am now going to be working on my roll bar or weapons pod roll bar area, and get that all resistored up, and make sure I have all my lights in there ready to go. And yeah, and like I've been sitting here going through and winding up all my cabling here so that keeps them together for each one. I'm hoping that'll help and not take up
Nice.
too much space. And
That's a
then
good
if I get a
idea.
chance, I will maybe get some lights in my the main hull here for the RCS thrusters on here. So we'll see.
Awesome.
And what are you going to be up to, Jordan?
Beyond catching up, really the plan for this episode is going to be when we get the parts, get this lower part done. I want to go ahead and get all these parts cut out, get those fitted in, just for the sake of like doing it. No other real logical reason. And then the first thing I'm really going to be doing beyond that is going to be working and finishing the nacelles. And so it's really kind of a simple approach for this one. Once again, like there's a lot of work that I still need to get done and get caught up on, but really not so much. I just got to get the nacelle over into the paint booth and get all that stuff properly taken care of. And then pretty much beyond that, if I'm going to do anything extra, it's going to be taking care of getting the fin onto the nacelle. And once the fin is on there, I have all my lighting ready to go. So it's just a matter of getting everything run and put it together and have everything run out the top. So that's really the plan. If I can get these three done and see what I can't do about getting that part attached to the fin as well.
Oh, right on. For me, though, I do have to remember. So far, my Raytheon effect seems to be going really well, but I gotta remember not to connect the Raytheon to anything else, because I want to have that as an option. That if it's for some reason does not work out, I want to have the option of disconnecting it from all power and have it not affect anything else. So I do have
Nice.
to remember that.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. One of the things that Todd can do for you too is he can put that on a pin in the Arduino that we can that where well you guys can like if you need to just remove the programming from it so it doesn't do anything.
Right.
That is also an option as well.
Oh, well, that sounds good too.
Yep,
That's good
yep.
to hear.
That's the beauty of it. Like you can completely wire it all up, wire it all on one circuit, basically, just one Raytheon effect circuit for all those lights, and then yeah, and then if it doesn't work out, as long as the Arduino is not put inside the ship but in the base as we should, you'll be able to go through and have like we'll just be able to recode it and take that pin off of functionality. So it's perfect.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Well,
All
I look
right.
forward to seeing your progress.
You as well. Absolutely. It's exciting. Parts are going to be here soon. And these will be to you. Like, this is kind of the next phase. So, kind of once the assembly of the nacelles are done and the roll bar is done, and we start looking at the lights for the inside, that's where these kind of come into play. So, everything's kind of arriving at about the right time, I think. So,
Right on.
right on. Well, I look forward to seeing what you get done as well, my friend. And look forward to seeing you at the bench.
All right, let's head to the bench.
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to A Line in the Stars. And here it is. I finally have some parts to finish the hull modifications. Now, I have them a little bit sooner than Ken, and I'm going and skipping way ahead. So I've been a little bit behind on all the builds, and I've been trying to like keep up chronologically, at least with the videos that Ken and I are producing. But in kind of looking at things, I've kind of got to wait on the nacelles. I went ahead and threw some paint on them, but it is Vallejo and it does not dry very fast. And I was kind of planning on working on the nacelles, but I needed to get some work done. And I've got the parts, and I probably got them a little bit before Ken because customs and all the rest. And so here they are. I gotta say, these parts are beautifully printed. Will did an amazing job of designing all of this and making it look really, really good. If you look inside there, it's kind of hard to catch, but there are actual grills in the front of these little things, and exactly what it is. The surface detail is really amazing. It just looks. Let's try to catch the light on both sides here. There we go. Yeah, it looks really, really good. So much more detail than what we got on the stock part. And so, just for comparison, this is what the part that we're going to be replacing today. We're going to be doing this one. This one. We'll take a look at this one here in a second, and this one here. Here is the stock part compared to. It's kind of hard to pick up, but the stock part compared to the one that was printed. Just more detail, more depth. There's no grills on the front of it. Obviously, you can probably get away with it and not really notice, but for the sake of making this as movie accurate as possible, we want to go ahead and use this piece. And I got to say that the work on that was done is just beautiful. Now, the other one that we're going to be replacing is going to be this piece right here. Now, as you can see, kind of matches up with that. Before we take a look to show what we're doing, let's go ahead and take a look at the piece itself. Once again, the detail on here was fairly accurate, except for kind of the shapes. So these are kind of tubular, stuff like that over here. And you have the same thing there a little bit, but the shapes just don't really kind of match up very well. This is just a lot more accurate to the actual build. So there's a comparison of the detail, right? So much more detailed piece. But the big thing is if you look here, you can see that there's a bit of a concave to the hull, and this piece matches. There we go. This piece matches the concave right here. This does not. So as you can see there, if we cut this out properly, and I'm going to be doing that off camera so I don't screw anything up, we're going to do one of the side ones together, then I'll do the other two off camera. Then we'll come back and talk about how it all turned up. But there is a bit of a groove to it, so it'll fit in place, but it sits flat. So this part is supposed to be flat against the hull. There's supposed to be no curve there. So that's what the importance of getting these done. My only concern with getting this middle one done is going to be working around the other resin piece that we've gotten. I've already puttied and sanded through here and all what have you. So, we'll see how this all turns out. But first, let's go ahead and get into cutting and replacing the first of our grills, or little vents, grill vent thing here, whatever you want to call it. Let's go ahead and get this replaced. And like I said, after that, we'll come back and I'll take care of the rest off camera, so I take my time. So let's go ahead and get that cut out. All right, so as always, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. I am going to be also using my Sonic Saber here. So this is the frozen Sonic Saber. I likely need to replace the blade on the end there. It's not really a point anymore. So I'm going to take care of that real quick. If you guys can see, the blade needs to be replaced. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that real quick. But I like to use the Sonic Saber for this. This thing is an amazing tool. This is the Frozen Madworks Sonic Saber. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the blade real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, it always amazes me when I don't cut myself doing this, but we have our Sonic Saber here with a properly sharpened and sharp blade. Let's go ahead and start cutting. And so what I like to do is when we cut with the Sonic Saber, I'm going to go ahead and start along the side here, and I'm going to kind of plunge in at a bit of an angle. So I'm not going to start at the very edge, because if you do it at the very edge, it's not going to quite go where you want. So I'm going to go ahead and depress, push in, and just kind of score along the edge of where I want to cut. And I'm going to do this several times. And I'm not trying to push too far in so as to get in one shot. I want to kind of go through and take my time getting through the plastic, as this plastic is fairly thick and we are coming in at a bit of an angle. So I already kind of got a little bit of cut through there. There we go. I'll take a look, see how it is from underneath. It's cutting right along that line, which is exactly what I was hoping for. Let's get all the way cut down to the end here. There we go. Let's make sure all the way through. Excellent. I'm going to do the same thing along the back line here. Just getting my score line first. And that one went through. Come back around to the first side, and I'm going to go ahead and complete that because it'll kind of plastic weld itself in place. There we go. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side that we did earlier. There we go. All right, let's take a look, see how it looks underneath. Yeah, we're looking good. Now, we're going to very carefully go along the front here. Try not to go too far. Okay, let's see how this does. Okay, we need to go around here to the edge. Connect up our cuts. There we go. And separation's complete. Excellent. Now, let's just go ahead and give a test fit real fast. See how we're looking. Definitely going to need to be a little bit of cleanup here. Looks like I may have gone too far. No. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up real fast. All right, so kind of learned my lesson for the other side here. What we don't need to do is go as far back. So when I cut this out on the other side, I'm going to only cut it out. That's how interesting. I may just cut it all the way out because that'll be a little funny. And we'll just go ahead and putty along the backside in there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is finish getting this cleaned up. And we'll get this one installed. And then I'll take care of the other two off camera. I will be right back after getting this all sanded up. All right, so after a little bit of cleanup, sits in there real nice. We're going to need to obviously do some putty work around there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this glued up. And then I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to take my time getting this glued up. Don't want to show that on camera. Boring as hell. But I'm going to get this glued into place. And then after that sets, I'm going to go ahead and get this one cut out. And then this one cut out. I'll get them glued into place. And we'll come back and review what was been done. And then we'll talk about a very important next episode. All right, here we are. Now, it didn't go perfectly. I wish that it did, but it didn't. Got probably a little overzealous with my cut over here on this side. As you can see, there's a couple of gaps. There's a gap along the front of this one. You can see my finger kind of running underneath it. You know, there's a couple gaps along the back here. These parts aren't quite like, once again, designed properly in scale, and I'm cutting out the old parts. This was to be expected. So here's what it looks like from underneath. Wound up matching up with the other resin piece that we put in very nicely. Everything worked out really nice. I did have to go through and kind of sand up some of the parts a little bit. Will went ahead and just sent them and kind of cleaned them up just a little bit. But I went through and cleaned everything up. But otherwise, the three parts went on really well. It's kind of hard and blurry. I apologize, but that is what that properly looks like, and that's what it looks like on the actual studio model. And if you look on the front, kind of hard to pick out, but right here along the front, there's a set of grills as well. So just much more movie accurate. And I got to say that it does look really good on this kit. And I'm also pretty excited to say that outside of the fins and a little bit of work with the impulse deck, we're getting ready to be done with all of the external modifications to this model and getting ready to move on to actually finishing the lighting, getting the nacelles done, getting the roll bar done, and then going ahead and moving on to the paint phase. And so I'm really excited about that. So, as I alluded to as well in the previous segment, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that next week is going to be a big episode. We're going to complete principal assembly on the nacelles. I do have the fins for them. We're going to get them installed. We're going to get all the lighting installed, and we'll go ahead and peel up a little bit of tape and see how everything turned out. And I will be able to confidently say that the installation of it, or the assembly of one portion of this build will be fully complete. And I do have to say I'm pretty excited about that. So that's what I got for you guys today. Big shout out to Will over at the Ensigns Chair for printing these parts, inspiring these builds, and being just an all-around awesome dude. Big thanks to Cass over at Lake Monster Details. Once again, thank you for sponsoring the build and sending us all these parts. It's been amazing to work with you guys. And then, of course, make sure you check out Ken's build at Ken's Hobby Bench. And you can see a little bit further along to where he's going. So that's what I got for you guys today. And I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me watching me build a model. And I think that's pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions or comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. Like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world where we're having to be. And just remember that I have been and always shall be your friend.